Why hello there internet, my name is John Jags, and today I'm going to show you how I made this 6-second ad in Unreal to advertise this board game. So let's just go into Unreal and talk about that fun thing.
Is this headline true or false? Can you tell the difference? Florida Man.
Alright, we are in the Unreal Engine and we are going to make this little 6-second ad. So what I have in this scene here is a scene that I picked up from the Unreal Marketplace, just a beach sort of scene with some umbrellas and palm trees and a sandcastle. There's some floating beverages over there, but we're just gonna ignore that part and talk about the game. So the game is Florida Man. Basically, there's two lines on the cards and then one of them is in red. Some are correct, some are incorrect. You have to guess which one is which, and then yeah, it's a fun little party game. It's pretty fun. I enjoy it, and the art style is really humorous. So what we're trying to do is just bring this to life in a way that's fun and exciting, but short and sweet for a 6-second Instagram ad. So first things first, let's take a look at what we're working with for the scene. We have the cards, the tokens for the t-shirts, the tokens for the gameplay, the board, the cards. Don't tell anyone. But it's actually the same card for every single one on this stack. It's just we're seeing the backside. So yeah. Here is the card that we are going to be showcasing in the game here, and we got to drop in some audio. So we're working with a little audio track. We found the music from Epidemic Sound, and then we went to Fiverr and found a lovely voiceover actor. His name is Ken. I will leave his link in the bio or the description down below, and you can see all of his fabulous work or book him because he's awesome. So let's do some animation stuff. First, let's listen to the music. The music plate, rather. Play.
Is this headline true or false? Can you tell the difference? Florida Man.
Alright, so the line is this headline true or false? Can you tell the difference? We have to make sure that we show a card, make it legible so it won't be moving all too much, and then we have to see the box and the components of the game. So we're going to keep this relatively simple, but just showcasing what we need to most. So first what we're going to do is we're going to compose a camera. So we're going to click on the little camera button right here. And it got all blurry, and that's because the depth of field is really shallow. So we can maybe set our focus point to, say, the card right now and just kind of compose our shot. So we can see a little bit of the box and a little bit of the card. I know we're just working with the shapes right now. Then go back to this little sample button on the manual focus distance. Click. Nope. Back to camera. Click. Click. There we go. Now this is for Instagram, so we have to make sure this is a square, so we can set the sensor width to 1 by 1. And now we have that, and it did some weird funky thing with the zoom. Go back to our camera and set the focal length. Let's say, what, 12? And set that to that. You know what, we'll go back to the sensor width and height and set this to maybe 20 by 20. There we go, okay. So it is a little bit, I guess, camera film accurate. So just, you gotta make sure that the sensor width and height are equal so we get a square aspect ratio. Then we'll go back in, and now it looks extremely wide, which I still think is a cool look, but not for what we're trying to do here. Let's see. Let's go back into the manual focuses and set that there, and maybe set this focal length back to 35. Yeah, there we go. And then we'll set the focal distance one more time. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of camera movement. So maybe we'll just have the camera focus there, set the focal length or aperture rather to like 4. So it's still blurry in the background, but we want to make sure that the card is fully in focus. So we'll go to frame 0 and set a transform keyframe. Oop. Why are you being weird? Oh, why are you being weird? Content. Aha! That was weird. Sometimes Unreal can be a little finicky. And, why did it eject me? Okay, back to our camera. There we go. Okay, we have our scene, and for some reason the keyframe was being a little funky, but you can just hit that button and add keyframes, and hit that button and add more keyframes. So, what I want to do at this very, very first frame is I want to actually have the camera start a little lower. So we'll hold right click and hit Q or E will bring us up or down, so I'll hit Q just a couple times, just a smidge, and we'll, put that there, set a keyframe, and then we'll go forward like what, 10, 16 frames, something like that, and go up so we can see the box and the card, and then we'll add another keyframe. And then we'll go to the end keyframe at 6 seconds, so like 522, 520, yeah, 6 seconds, and just like scooch it up by just a smidge, and then maybe zoom out just a hair. So now we get this little sort of camera movement right here.
Is this headline true or false? Can you tell the difference? Florida Man.
Cool, so we have the camera movement, and you could do this either way. You could animate the stuff first and then move the camera, or the other way around. I kind of like working with the camera movement first. So now we have this upward movement. I'm gonna click on this card, and we're gonna drag this into our timeline here, and we'll set this to be lower than our frame. So just put that there, and then boop, and then maybe right before the camera resolves that second camera movement, we'll go forward in time, and then I'll scroll up, and which property? I believe it's the Z. There we go. Yeah. So we'll set that right there, and then maybe just rotate it. Maybe like 70? No, 73, 74, 75. Okay. Then we can rotate it. Sometimes it's a little finicky, so just if you hit your E button, it will give you the rotation tool, and we'll just scooch that into place. Maybe bring it a little bit closer, and then we'll add a keyframe there. And then we'll scooch forward in time, and we'll have it sort of like track and follow the camera. And then put a keyframe there. And then we'll set one more keyframe at like the 5-second mark. And I'm gonna have this flatten out. I know I'm going a little fast, but the goal is to effectively just put this back on the table. Oh, sometimes it's weird. Ooh. 0, 0, 0. Okay. And we'll flatten that out. And then we'll turn that guy. And then we'll add a keyframe just so we don't accidentally undo that. And then bring that to the table. Now, I don't know the height of this table, but I can click on one of these objects. I can see that the Z is 70.5, so I can click on the card and set that to 70.5. And then just put this on the table somewhere. Boop. That works. And then set a keyframe. And then in between those keyframes, I'm actually going to add one more. So I'm going to click off the card, because sometimes when you switch between the rotation tools, it's a little odd. If you hit this button up here, which one is it? Control tilde, that's the one that I like to use. Yes, it is this button. For some reason it's not. Aha. So Control tilde, you'll cycle between world and object perspective, or the space in which it lives in the world. So I'm gonna go back to world instead of relative to the object, and just scooch that up a little bit so we get a little like sort of hop movement. And then we'll just add a keyframe there.
Difference? Florida Man.
And then what we're gonna do is just watch that back.
Is this headline true or false? Can you tell the difference? Florida Man.
All right, so now what we're gonna do is we need to adjust the camera focus. So we're going to go back to our camera, and we'll set our focus distance. We'll add a keyframe there, and we'll just actually scroll down, sample that focus. I want to make sure I sample the box. There we go. Let's add a keyframe there. Then we'll go right to when the card comes up, and we'll rack focus to the card. And sometimes you might have to do it manually. And then we'll just keyframe that. And then we'll try and track the card a little bit. So maybe about right there, we'll just set a new keyframe on that card. And sometimes it's just funky. That's okay. Just a slight movement so it doesn't come out of focus again.
Is this headline true or false? Can you tell the difference? Florida man.
And then I know right here, as the card leaves, I want the focus to come back to the box. So I'll set a keyframe right there as the card starts to move, and then we'll bring the focus to the box. Boop. Come on. Box, please. There we go. Boop. And then, actually, we'll go back to that first keyframe we were at and set the aperture. And we're going to widen this up a little bit so more of the components are in focus. And it'll just make sure everything is in focus. So we'll maybe just set that to 8. And then let's give that a playback.
Is this headline true or false? Can you tell the difference? Florida man.
Not bad. All right. So now what I want to do is I want to add some camera shake. Give this a little bit more of a handheld, raw look. So to do that, what we're going to do is we'll go to our camera, track camera shake, and then I already made some camera shake. There's a link in my description once again on how to add camera shake to your Unreal cameras. So look out for that. Click on the add camera shake and we'll scroll down and we'll see this little track. We'll just drag that out.
Is this headline true or false? Can you tell the difference? Florida man.
And you know, with the shake, we're actually getting a little bit of blur, a little bit too much blur. So let's just go back to this aperture and set that to what, like 6? And then let's try
Is this headline true or false? Can you tell the difference? Florida man.
And then it looks like the post-process volume is actually giving us a little bit too much motion blur. So if we scroll down and, oh, actually that's not even on. If we turn that back on, how's that? Set that to 24 and set the motion blur to like 22.
Is this headline true or false? Can you tell the difference? Florida man.
Alright, so I'm pretty happy with this so far. Sometimes working in Unreal, the viewport can not be true to what you will be seeing in the final render just because you don't know how global GI will work. So I'll just do a quick render because the renders are really fast with this and just see how this looks in After Effects. So we'll go to my render queue, the movie render queue, and then go to Social Cut 01 and it'll load. Give it 1 second. Do 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 do. Go to our settings. I have a preset that I made for this. Render 0111. And then we'll change these settings to go into the folder we want. So Florida Man Social Cut 01. I'm very finicky about my caps. Go in there, save that, set this to 1080 by 1080. Auto saves a thing. Click accept. And then we can just hit the render button. And it should go pretty fast actually. And the render preview is actually pretty sweet. I'm pretty content with that. So if we go to After Effects here, I have my footage folder. And we'll just drop in that I just rendered. So I can select my pre-renders folder and hit Control-I. And then go to my pre-renders and just select that social cut. I always export as PNG sequences, but you can kind of do whatever you're feeling. You could do JPEG, you could do EXR if you want. I always do set everything back to 24, so I will hit Control-Alt-G on my keyboard with the footage selected, that PNG sequence, and just set that to a 24 frame sequence, and then just drop this into my timeline. And let's set this to full res just to see what's happening.
Is this headline true or false?
Can you tell the difference? Florida man.
Is this headline true or false? Is this headline true or false? Can you tell the difference? Florida man. Is this headline...
Yeah, that's not bad. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add a couple logos in here just for the promotional marketing aspect of this. So we'll just search up some extra stuff that I made for this video already. We'll look up reveal because I know that I named my pre-comp logo reveal. I could just drop that in, set that to like maybe what, 30% scale, and maybe just rotate that a little bit.
Is this headline true or false? Tell the difference? Florida man.
Yeah, you know what? That's actually not doing a whole lot for me. So what if we go to logo, and I'll put in just the Jacked Games logo, which is who this game is by. So it comes in as this dark gray from Illustrator. So I'll just add a fill effect, and then set that to white, and then drop shadow, and then set the opacity to make it pretty dark. Bring the distance out just a little bit, and then soften it up. Then set this to what, like 30%? Set that, what, right there?
Is this headline true or false? Can you tell the difference? Florida man.
So that logo kind of just pops in. I need to add a little bit of a opacity fade to it. So I will make a keyframe on the opacity. You can hit T to reveal the opacity property, and then you can just move that forward 20 frames. So maybe like what, like there, sure, something around that range. Or if you have keybinds that you like to use, I will just do that again, and I will hold Alt and Shift and then scooch that forward twice with my mouse, and then I can set one more keyframe by hitting the 1 button on my mouse, and then yeah, this is not sponsored by Razer, but you should totally investigate using a gaming mouse for your motion design. It will make you much, much faster. And let's give that one more playback.
Is this headline true or false? Can you tell the difference? Florida man. Is this headline true or false? Can you tell the difference? Florida man. Is this headline true or false? Can you tell the difference? Florida man.
Yeah, I feel pretty good about that. So we can kind of just call it there. I'm going to do some more tweaking to this, but I really just wanted to show you the process of how you could make something in Unreal super fast that looks pretty cool. Now, obviously, you do need to spend a lot of extra time making the assets, finding the scene that you want to use and whatnot. But once you're in Unreal, once you have a lot of that foundation built, you can do some fun things and capitalize on real-time rendering. So yeah, I love Unreal. This is not sponsored by Unreal, but it just makes it really fun because now I can be super creative and I can iterate this however I want and get some really cool looks with it. So I will leave it there. I hope you learned something. If you did, let me know in the comment section down below. If you didn't and you have questions, hit me up on Instagram at JohnJagsKnee. If you feel like this was helpful to you and you want to let me know that this is good content that I should be making for you, then feel free to hit that like button. It lets me know that I'm just not wasting your time, so I appreciate that. And if you want to stick around for the party, hit that subscribe button. It's always awesome to have more people join in. We're at about 800 now, so that's pretty fun. And yeah, goodbye, my friends. Eat 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.
Put the place up. Put my face up.